Welcome to Season 4 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC, hosted by Ruby Pinto and produced by Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 119 of Soccer Over Gotham. This is the Thank You, Kelly edition. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
We have a lot. Don't look now. Gotham has 27 goals in 5 games. So we have a date. We don't have an opponent yet, but we have the first playoff game in Gotham FC history, first home playoff game. And I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. We'll talk about it. We will break down this incredible win, and Gotham gets their first win against a top 4 team, which is awesome. Then we say thank you, Kelly. We'll cover her as well. It was a beautiful celebration on a gorgeous night in Harrison. Then we have a juicy revelation from the Offseason official. I hope you all watched. I'm curious on what the Ruby thinks about the revelation that we heard. Then we will look forward to San Antonio Friday night, Paramount Plus. Gotham is going for their first piece of hardware for the season. It's pretty exciting. And there are 3 players with 7 goals and the regular season 1 game left. I'm curious who we think is going to come home with the golden boot. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. But Ruby, how are you?
I'm doing great. Like I was just telling you earlier, we have kind of a weird fall going on here in Jersey right now. Like it was cold last week. You said the last game it was cold. But this past game, even up to today, has been gorgeous. It feels like summer, so I'm stoked about that. Eventually, winter's coming, but hey, gotta take advantage of those last warm, sunny days that we're getting. So I went to play pickleball today, so I was excited about that. I'm getting kind of better. I'm getting there eventually. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting better.
Who do you usually go with?
Huh?
Who do you usually go with?
So we play at work. Because they have a pickleball court. They have 2 pickleball courts at work. So after work around 4, 5-ish, we go. Today we went a little bit earlier. So we did 3 games up to 11 points. Actually 4 games. The other team won 2. My team won 2. So we were even. We didn't have time for one more. Hey, whatever. But how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I got an A on one of my finals. Still waiting to hear back from the other one. I was surprised on that one. I thought I was going to do well, but an A, I thought it was a little bit high for me.
Yeah.
For the work I thought I put out, but whatever. Yeah. I'll take it.
I love those when you think you did, you're like, oh, I didn't think I did well, and you get your grade, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. But first, congrats to the New York Liberty. First championship in franchise history. Amazing. And it was the most viewed WNBA Finals game ever on cable with 101.7 million viewers. Ooh. And it peaked at 2.4 million. And this was up 88% versus the Game 4 of last year's finals. So amazing, amazing things. And this Thursday is their Champions Parade. It will be free to the public at 10 a.m. and is going to be in Manhattan, called the Canyon of Heroes. And immediately after that, they're going to go to City Hall. It's going to be a ticketed event. It's a post-parade party. And then they're going to have a championship celebration from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Barclays Center, free and open to the public. It's going to be amazing. I have off on Thursday, but I got stuff to do. I want to go, though.
I wish I could go too, but I can't go. But it's really amazing. And I just want to say, hey, I saw it on Twitter. Hey, City is on the rise right now. New York City is winning. The Yankees are going to the World Series. Liberty just won a championship. Gotham is into the playoffs for a championship. Hopefully they can get a back-to-back win. That will be amazing. So we'll see what happens. That I couldn't watch the game because I was on my way back from the game, the Gotham game. So I didn't catch much of the WNBA, but it was such a great moment to see when they won and Sabrina just fell to the floor. She couldn't believe it. She came to this team when this team was literally kind of like Gotham. They were dead last, didn't win anything. In the last couple of years, they've been building up. And here they are. They won a championship. And I'm so, so happy for them.
Depth wins championships, just like Gotham. Their starters did not play all that well in the championship game, and their bench came through. And just like Gotham, it's not always your star players, it's always the depth that gets you through the championship runs. Speaking of championship runs, Gotham has a home playoff game on November 10th at 3 p.m. on ABC. We just do not know who we're playing yet. We'll know this following weekend. But it's exciting, and I just can't wait.
Yeah, we have, I think, 3 teams still fighting for 2 spots in the playoffs. I believe it's the Thorns, Utah, and Louisville, I believe.
Bay FC is the one.
Oh, Bay FC, sorry. Bay FC, Louisville, and the Thorns are fighting for those 2 spots left. I think it's going to be a really interesting weekend watching these games.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to make it, but, we'll see. So, fans, let's talk about this game because it was amazing. First, we have to talk about the weather. I was there on Wednesday. I was wearing a jacket. It was freezing in that arena. And then Sunday, it's like T-shirt weather, beautiful. The lower bowl was pretty much full for Kelly O'Hara's star-studded retirement celebration. And it was a beautiful night for her. Your thoughts, on the festivities, Ruby?
Honestly, I'm so happy that a lot of players, star players, there are her friends as well. All her friends showed up for her retirement celebration. Rapinoe was there. Alex Morgan was there with Charlie. Ali Krieger, of course, was there with Sloan. Who else did we have in there? There was.
Thought I saw Mana Shim, but I wasn't sure.
Mana Shim was there. Was O'Reilly there? I think O'Reilly was there.
Could have been.
Yeah. And the actor from You, what's his name? Is it Penn?
Ooh. I have no idea. I never saw that show.
I'm terrible with like actor names, but he was in Gossip Girl and You, the main actor. He was there at Gotham. They got him a jersey and everything.
Nice.
So hey, that was really interesting to see.
Yeah, indeed. And what I love about these kind of events is because you get to hear a little bit more about the person, things that you don't normally see. And a big highlight of her retirement celebration was all the work that she does, like outside of the sport for fighting for equal pay and all the charity that she does, and she like never skipped out on a way to give back. And that's that whole generation of players, what they've done to lift this sport up and fought for everything, and we're all in a better place because of them. So again, thank you, Kelly.
Yes, definitely. She has changed the game of soccer. She worked so hard. Unfortunately, she's leaving because of injury. Not the way you want to leave. But we thank her for everything she did for the sport. Like you said, equal pay. She's been in this league. Another fun fact, she was with Sky Blue when the league started, and she's finishing her career with Gotham. So that was another interesting fact.
So Lisa, bragging rights were on the table here. Both teams are in the top 4. No one's catching Orlando at this point. They have the shield. They're in first place. But Gotham still has a chance to keep building momentum because they are scoring goals, they are winning games, and they're looking very similar to how they were in the beginning of the playoffs last year, locking teams down, scoring a goal or 2, getting out of there, just really well. But Orlando, interesting enough, they lost their first game on the road in Portland. They had a rotated squad, so this is a game for Orlando to put their starters back, get their groove back, get on the field, and dominate like they've been doing all season. And let's get to the game, though. So Tierna Davidson was out for her thigh. Jessica Silva was still out for her knee. That's worrying. Cece Kaiser was out for her foot. And Sonnet was out for yellow card accumulation, as well as the coach. Onto the formation. Berger was in goal. This is our 14th center back pairing. Carter and Hyatt in the back with Neiswanger and Freeman on the outsides. Neely Martin head of the defense. Then you had Lavelle, Ryan, and Stevens in the midfield. Sheehan and Stevens. Your thoughts on coming in with this lineup against Orlando's best 11?
Yeah, just seeing that injury list, you're like, dang, like no Dunn, no Davidson, no Sonnet, no Kaiser, no Jessica Silva, no Coach Ambrose. So you get a little worried. But then when I see the starting lineup, you're like, all right, Berger, Freeman, Carter, Hyatt, Neiswanger, LaBelle, Ryan, all of these players here are top players and they can perform. So after seeing that, okay, I was calm. But then I see Orlando's starting lineup and then they decided to start their stars, Martha and Banda, which, are the goal scorers in this team. So I was a little worried again, but I was hoping for at least a tie. And you mentioned now the 14th center back pairing. I also thought that was interesting to see Carter and Hyatt in this game starting. And by the way, I love Hyatt.
Yeah. As you can tell, I like Hyatt as well. And Mandy Freeman was the captain for this game, which
yes,
amazing. We love Mandy on this podcast. So good for her to get out there.
Wasn't she our first guest in the podcast? I believe Mandy Freeman was.
Third. I think it was Brianna Pinto. Was it Paige Monahan and then her? Or was she second? I don't know. It's a long time ago.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But on this gorgeous night in Harrison, it was. So the tactics of this game is Gotham always wants to compress you onto one side of the field and just smother you and push you into the corner of the field. Orlando is interesting, and I noticed this last time we played Orlando, is that they play very, very wide and they're very narrow. So like it is in the middle of the field, they put all their midfielders and defenders in like two lines, and then they have Banda just running outside. Now, what Orlando wants to do is allow Gotham to push from the one side and then play that long switch across. So they pretty much always have a player on each end line just waiting for that ball out. And when they do, then usually Banda's isolated on the defensive center back, and she can play that long diagonal ball and get on the run. And it works a lot of the time. But tonight it didn't. We had enough speed. And what a job that Sam Hyatt and Carter did on Banda early on. The first time Banda gets through, she gets into the box and Carter lays a crunching slide tackle on her. And that was kind of like a message sent that it wasn't going to be an easy night for her. Then how do you see this, Ruby? Was that a goal for Hyatt or not? The ball goes off a corner kick. It gets rolled around. It looks like Sam might have touched it, but she comes away from it going like, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't touch it. But it gets credited to Hyatt.
I guess you can just do like a Cristiano Ronaldo and he thought he scored and it touched like one hair. Whatever. She gets the goal. She's worked so hard. She was right there. Uh-huh. I believe because of her, it was a goal because she was there to disrupt the play and disrupt like the keeper from getting that ball. So, hey, why not?
Yeah, and teams don't do this to Orlando, but Gotham was pushing them around a little bit in the beginning of the game. Orlando is extremely physical. They go in for every tackle, and the ref is letting a lot of it go. But the ref makes a decision. Okay, so I'm in 106, and I'm looking straight at this. But I guess, in all fairness, I guess the soccer gods giveth last week a soft penalty, and then they taketh away this week and give us a soft penalty against us. Because the way I see it is Banda's going downfield. Sam comes over to cut her off. She turns into Sam, bounces into her, and falls down. Now, immediately from 106, in unison, we all just yelled BS because it was such an obvious like running into Sam Hyatt and falling down. That was very frustrating. I watched it back a bunch of times, and I'm like, Sam doesn't even put her arms out until Banda's already on our way down. So I don't get it. But, again, we got one last week. We'll have to give it this week. What do you think?
But honestly, after that, I don't think it was a penalty, by the way. But after that penalty, I was a little worried for Gotham because usually when the other team equalizes or scores on them, they kind of like crumble down and they like go in panic mode. But they were able to keep calm in this game. And I saw that even though they didn't score right away after that penalty, they were able to stay calm, keep cool, and play their game. And that's something that I just want to shout out to Gotham. Another thing I want to do is another shout out for the assistant coach, Sean Harris, for leading this team in this game.
And this is what we've been talking about, these playoff performances and against the game like in Tigres where, things don't go your way. You're going to get bad calls against you. You're going to get goals scored against you. But like, how do you bounce back? And Gotham bounces back. They get a goal from Rose Lavelle right before halftime, a beautiful goal. And I put this on Twitter, but it's funny because you can see Jenna Neiswanger just getting so animated all the way around this goal. It's funny. Just how competitive she is. It's just it's a funny thing. But what do you think about going into halftime 2-1?
Pretty much right at the buzzer of the first half, they were able to score. Honestly, I went wild because I was going as a fan this time. And usually when you're impressed, well, not usually, when you're impressed, you have to be like really serious. And this game was against Orlando, the number 1 team in the NWSL. So for Gotham to like able to score on them again and take the lead, I was so freaking happy. I was going ballistic in the stands. I'm sorry, whoever was around me thought I was crazy, but it was such a great time. And here we have, who was it? Ella Stevens with that beautiful goal. Like, honestly, I'm so happy because we've been talking about Gotham not being able to score much, especially against like a team like Orlando that shuts everyone down. We were keeping Orlando pretty quiet at this game.
We did. And I think with this game in particular, it was good to see how every time we got forward, we were dangerous. And at halftime, this is a fun thing that happens. Bernina comes in and she's playing as a left winger. And I am here for untethered Bernina. Just letting her run around, find space, take on players. And she makes a beautiful run in the box. And Rose Lavelle, how many players can make that pass? She's sideways, outside of her foot, finds Bernina through, plays it over to Stevens, and Stevens makes no mistake. So it's just a beautiful goal. And this game ends 3-1. Gotham is dominating. And when I'm watching this game, and it got around to like the 50th minute, I'm like, when Gotham goes up 3-1, I'm so excited. I was waiting for Orlando to concede defeat, and I was like, okay, once they start pulling their starters, then they conceded defeat. And they pulled Adriana early around like the 62nd minute, and I was like, yes, it's over, we got them. And they see it out. But good on Gotham beating Orlando's starters the way they did.
Exactly. And I mean, and the team also has a lot of that. Like, Gotham has a lot of that. We didn't even play Williams in this game. So we also had Williams in the bench ready to go. Yeah. So, but just this win 3-1 against Orlando, it's huge for Gotham. This is the second team that beats Orlando in this season. We know that Orlando has been dominating the whole season, and such a sweet victory. Even though we've won like so many games in the season, I think this one's the sweetest one because Orlando is number 1 right now. And even though my hometown is Orlando, my heart is with Gotham.
Yeah. Speaking of Orlando, it's hitting me. It hit me today, actually. I was thinking, I'm like, this could be the last time like to see Marta play in person. I know, like she's now it's a retirement from international play, but still, it's like, how many chances are you going to get to see that legend play? And it was really nice to see that she got a standing ovation essentially when she got off the field, even from the Gotham fans, because we all respect her. Yeah,
she's the GOAT. I mean, she's been in the game for so long, and just looking at her play is kind of scary. Like, I can just imagine like playing against her. That's even more scarier.
So, Ruby, nobody does this to Orlando's starters. Nobody does this to them. So we did it. Any stats of the game?
Yes, I do have a stat. We have Rosabelle with the highest FOTMA rating in this game with 8.5. She played the whole 90 minutes. She had 1 goal, a total of 3 shots, and she also created 3 chances. That's huge.
First, I got Ryan with 10 duels, 1. I don't know. I brought this up a couple times this season, but like Ryan just gets into fights all game long, and she's got a ridiculous record of like 10 or 20 duels a game. So she's just getting in there with everybody. But for the second game in a row, I know at least for the second game in a row, Gotham has missed 0 big chances. We're putting goals away. When we get chances, we're scoring, which is amazing. And get to the hero of the match. Fans chose Lavelle just over Carter. Lavelle was 38%. Carter was 35%. High at 9%, and Stevens at 18%. Do you agree?
I was close. Even though Lavelle won in this pool, I voted for Carter. And the reason why, I think I had my mind made up like in the 10th minute when she she was on Banda, and she, like you said, she just like swept, and she just had an amazing game. She shut Banda down. I think her and Hyatt had a great game, but Carter, I think because of Carter, Orlando wasn't able to score more goals.
I agree, but I'm also throwing a curveball. I am going with Neely Martin for this one. One of the toughest tasks in the game today is covering Marta, and she did an amazing job. She had almost 90% accurate passes. She actually created 3 chances. She was everywhere. She had 4 recoveries, 5 ground duels, and she was almost the highest on FOTMOB as well, but I think the yellow card took her down a peg. But having Carter, Hyatt, and Martin, I'd say the 3 of them would be my heroes of the match. I think they were awesome. So jump into these standings. Orlando's still up top. Gotham is in the third space. We got a home playoff game. Again, you said that we have Portland, Bay, and
Racing Louisville.
Yep, Portland, Bay, and Racing Louisville fighting for those last couple playoff spots. It is going to be tough, and we'll see who comes out on top. But this season, 53 points, most in the team history. We have 16 wins, most in club history. We have 4 assists for Yasmin Ryan, who still leads the team. And now we have 3 players, Esther, Stevens, and Lavelle, at 7 goals. Going into this last week against Utah Royals, curious who you think is going to be getting this, because Lavelle won't be there. So she is out. This is going to be Esther and Stevens.
Well, you already know who I'm rooting for. For me, Esther is going to go and going to win this. But honestly, every time she scores, I'm like, yes, she's going to take the lead. And then everyone comes and scores as well. It's a really, really close, it's really close for everyone. So it could be anybody's game at this point.
I'm with you. I think Esther is the one to get it. But yeah, so Ruby, the Offseason official is now official. It is on X, boo. But it was a huge get. I think it was like 10 million views in like 2 days or something.
Yes.
Something crazy. I don't trust X for their statistics, but 10 million is a lot. I'm just curious your thoughts on the show itself so far, and then we'll get into the revelation.
It was, oh my God. I have so much to talk about this show, this reality show, because first of all, such a great idea to bring this show out. A reality TV with professional soccer athletes, women soccer athletes. I want to talk about the house. The house was amazing. This mansion, they come in and look at the house with an elevator. I was about to get there. And the first thing that happens is Midge Purce gets stuck in an elevator. What was the other player? I forgot.
Gosh, I forget. But yeah, it was.
They were there for about over an hour in that elevator stuck. And the funniest thing is that Iffy came before, and Iffy had to take the stairs. Like, oh, wow, you took me up the stairs, not the elevator. And I bet she was glad she took the stairs and not the elevator, because they got stuck. Such a great show. Another thing is when Midge Purce brings the trophy, the championship trophy, into the house and puts it like right in the entrance so everybody could see it. And just, that's a statement there. Like, hey, I'm the champion here.
She wouldn't let anybody else touch it who wasn't a winner.
Exactly. Another thing, oh my God. Taylor Smith
Mm-hmm.
with, so the first day was introduction, everybody getting into the house. Next day, Midge Purce the night before is like, all right, we're going to training. We got to be there at 10. Don't be late. And who was late? Taylor Smith was late. Why? Because she was trying to find the best chain or the right chain to go practice. So I thought that was funny. I was like, really? But in between everything, all the entertaining and the drama, another thing that and something that we want to highlight is the pay situation that they brought up in this first episode. Right. So what do you think about that?
I think it was enlightening, and people need to hear that. Obviously, we know these things, but people who are tuning in for the first time really saying, what is this? 10 million people got to see them talk about their salaries, which is amazing. And a player like Lola Bonta, who's she does not have an agent. I think she does her own, right? Is that what she said?
Yeah, she does not have her own agent. She went in dog raw. So what did she say? Raw
dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was, again, it was enlightening, and players like her obviously deserve more. She's one of the stars of the league. So that was tough to hear, but it's good. I'm glad that they're doing not just their lives, but like what they go through. And I hope they bring up more conversations like this, because these are things that need to be out in the open, and it needs to reach a larger audience. Good on Midge for putting that together and doing this whole thing. It is really, really cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. Another thing, the chefs, the food. I saw their dinner for that night, and they had surf and turf. I was so jealous. It made me hungry at 11 a.m. Yeah. I was hungry watching this episode of them. So good for them. They're having a good time. Oh, talking about the house, I forgot to mention the pool. Such a nice pool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a gorgeous house.
And like you said, Midge left this in a cliffhanger. Tell us about that.
Okay. So before we jump to the cliffhanger, I also got to say something. Her trainer that she brought, I trained with him in Metuchen, New Jersey. That's where they train. It's my friend owns the place. He was one of the original owners. But it's if you go to like ap2t.net, it's the sports center of Metuchen. So it's one of the best places to train. And if you go there, you're going to see all kinds of pro players going in and out of there. It's amazing. That's where I met Kristen Edmonds. It's just an awesome place to train. So just shout out to them. I'm obviously not getting paid to do this, but so just putting that out there. He's an excellent trainer. Anyway, so the revelation is at the end of the episode, Midge is sitting at the table and they ask, I'm not sure if she asked or someone else asked, like, is everybody staying with the team that they're staying with?
Yeah. And
it's silence, and everyone's looking around like, okay, who's going to say something? And then Midge says, I'm working on a trade away from Gotham. And she says, it has to happen right now. So that was a revelation, that she was in the offseason working on a trade to get away from Gotham. I'm just curious, Ruby, your thoughts on that revelation.
First of all, I wasn't surprised that other teams came to her and given her offers, especially after the season that she had. MVP of the championship game, winning a championship. She was a key role in that last game for Gotham to win the championship. So I wasn't surprised that a lot of teams probably came to her with offers. But then I was like, all right, this was taped a year ago. And Midge is still with Gotham right now. So I'm like, okay, I don't think she didn't leave, obviously, because she's still here. And unfortunately, she hasn't been able to play because of her injury. But honestly, I think she might sign for another year with Gotham. That's how I feel.
This is her last year of her contract. And this is peak valuation for Midge Purce, because she had just come off of winning the championship, being the championship MVP. She's got a TV show working on. So she's a bona fide star. And her valuation was as high as it possibly can get at that point. So I'm sure she was looking for who's going to pay me the most money. And I guess it fell through. But I would love to see her stay at Gotham. But she's going to command a large salary. I don't know if Gotham's going to have that in them to do that. We'll see. But again, if we hope Midge is a lifer, but we want what's best for her. And if she can find a better contract somewhere else and get to playing time. And it's such a shame, because if she did not get the money that she was looking for and stayed and then get injured, brings down her valuation. So she might not have that chance again to get that kind of money, but maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But
And then the fans now, these episodes are about 30 minutes long. And I know fans are already asking for extended versions or extended episodes because I do agree. 30 minutes, it's too little. Let's give the public, let's give the fans 1 hour episodes. And I love that they're dropping them. I believe they're going to drop another one over this weekend on Friday, actually. So I like that they're dropping the episodes weekly. That way you like keep people like hooked. I'm hooked. I'm definitely hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. We're all invested in these players. So we're going to watch. But we will talk about this on the episodes coming up, only pretty much for stuff that relates to Gotham and things like that. So, but this Friday, Ruby, Paramount Plus, 8 p.m., it's going to be wild. It's going to be Gotham against KC playing for Hardware in San Antonio for the Summer Cup final. It's going to be awesome. But Gotham will be missing some big pieces. They'll be missing Sonnet, Neiswanger, Lavelle, Ryan, Williamsberger, and Carter. As far as I can tell, it looks like KC might be full strength. So they might be missing Mace, I think, with the national team. But I think that's about it. I'm just curious your thoughts on going to San Antonio to face a full-strength KC squad with our depth.
I can't believe that the Summer Cup final is here. Like they've been playing so many tournaments during the regular season. It's hard to keep up. But we have the Summer Cup final here. I believe it's going to be a tough one for Gotham, especially when they're going to be missing 7 players. And some of the players with Gotham right now, the ones that are staying, I believe they're tired. Yeah, these players are tired. But in times like these, I feel like that's when they like really show what they're made of. Especially after beating Orlando in the last game, we didn't have a lot of players like we mentioned earlier, and we didn't have the coach with them during that game. I am confident they will not make it easy on Kansas City for this game. So it's going to be a really good game to watch.
There's a lot of similarities between Orlando and KC. They both like to stack the midfield and then find either Bando or Shawinga over the top on those crossing runs. So if I was Gotham, I wouldn't change a thing. I would probably start Hyatt and I would start Carter again. I would start Freeman because she's got a lot of pace as well and she's a very smart veteran. I think that would be the lineup that I would be going with.
But we don't have Carter in this game.
Well, we don't have Carter in this game,
no.
Right? So then we've got Hyatt and Lopez?
Lopez, yeah.
Okay, so be it. And another interesting thing, Gotham doesn't have a lot of attacking depth right now. So I think putting Bruninia out at left wing might have been like testing because we might see Bruninia as a starting left winger because if Kaiser is still out, then we're going to have Esther and Stevens and then Bruninia on the one side. It's going to be interesting. I hope they can pull it off. It's the deck is stacked against them right now. But as we know, Gotham gets up for these games. And they reach another level as they've been doing these past couple of weeks. I got faith in them, but let's go. Any manifestations this week?
Of course. We're going into this final match, and I'm manifesting Gotham FC Summer Cup champions.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I want Kaiser and Silva to come off that injury list, hopefully, for this game. We need one of them at least.
Yes.
Any random... Well, first, guys, you should always follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram and Threads if you can. I had fun with the post-game stats thread on Twitter today. I was able to finally tell a full story with that. It was kind of fun. So follow us for all kinds of stats and game reviews, and that's where your voice is going to be heard. We do lots of polls. We're going to do some polls coming up, and we have our big end of the regular season award show coming, and that should be maybe next week. Maybe we'll see. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to put the votes up very soon, so hop on Twitter at Over Gotham Pod. So that's where you're going to vote. Make your voices heard. It's going to be fun.
Yes. Go follow us on all the socials. And now we're on YouTube, like Gary mentioned. So I have to come home now and look decent for the camera and put the lights where I look the prettiest. But yeah, follow us there. Give us a like. Leave us a review. 5 stars as always. And I do have a random thought for today because you were going to the random thought. So while we were like recording right now, I just got a text of my niece wearing her Gotham jersey.
Oh, perfect.
I know. And in the text it says, without a doubt, the jersey that she wears the most.
Did you go to the games?
She lives in Bolivia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's in Bolivia right now.
Okay.
When she came, I believe 3 years ago, we went to one of the games. But there was a weather delay. Boo. I think that was the game that started probably like almost at midnight.
Oh boy.
And we couldn't stay that long, so we had to leave. So unfortunately, she couldn't stay for the game. Hopefully next time she comes, I will take her to the game.
That's it. That is a deal. Let's do that. Random thoughts. Oh yeah, so I got not disqualified, but like I got jury duty for the first time in a while. But they said I didn't have to go this day. I was hoping to go. Like
really?
Oh gosh. Like I don't want to. I want to go on like I want a real trial. I want like a murder trial where I can sit there and deliberate. Like I don't want like property damage and stuff like that. I want a real trial.
Oh my God, that would be so interesting. That would be, yeah. I would love to go to one of those too. But I think my wife got called last year or in the beginning of this year. Then my cousin got called sometime in the summer. But then they let you know, like, oh, we don't need you. So I feel like it always happens. Indeed. But yeah, a murder trial will be really interesting. I think I will be like, I'm ready. I watched 2020. I watched Dateline. Yes. I watch all these crime shows.
Same. Yeah. Oh. Speaking of crime shows, I got a chance to, with the Big Brother program, they had an event at the Lehigh Valley Coroner's office. So we got to go in and see like the entire like forensic scene of like the coroner's office. We got to be around dead bodies. Didn't get to see anything, but they actually like showed us like a slide presentation of like what they do at scenes and like how they look for it. It was just amazing. I was having so much fun. A little, maybe not as much, but I'm a sciencey nerd, so it was fun for me.
Oh, another. Now that we're talking about crime, I think it was 2 years ago. I took a class in college. It was digital forensics because I'm in technology. Yeah, I was like, you know what, this class is gonna be fun. So yeah, I learned how like they handle like devices for evidence, cell phones, computers, all of this, how to extract data from these phones. So don't think because you deleted it, it's gone. It's not gone. They're gonna find it. Never gone. The softwares that they use, of course, they're expensive. That's why not many like police departments have like all these fancy dancy like softwares to extract. But they're out there.
Indeed. So Friday is going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. We'll be back next week, hopefully soon, with the award show. So stay tuned. All right, everybody, let's go. Soccer Over Gotham is brought to you by a dedicated team of Gotham FC enthusiasts who aim to bring you the latest news, analysis, and in-depth discussions about Gotham FC and the National Women's Soccer League. This podcast is hosted by Ruby Pinto, Noella Franco, and Gary Gibson. This show is produced and edited by Gary Gibson. For more Gotham FC content, follow the show on social media at Soccer Over Gotham on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Also over Gotham Pod on Twitter, X, to join the community. For news and updates, visit soccerovergotham.com. To support the show, please rate us 5 stars on Spotify and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Purchase merch at the show's official TeePublic store. Search all 4 words, Soccer Over Gotham Podcast. Subscribe so that you don't miss a thing, and share the show with anyone who might listen. Word of mouth is everything. Thank you for making it this far. We will see you on the next one.